Welcome aboard. It's Captain G with GW85's Checkpoint Charlie turn 7.1 Warsaw Pact. All right, now that we are at war in our limited scenario, another of the minor rule adjustments we made for this scenario was how we would handle military aid to NATO and to Warsaw Pact from the US Global and the Soviet Union. So our process was for Warsaw Pact to declare after the NATO turn what up to 2 units the Soviets would be sending them, and then NATO would be able to declare 1 unit of military aid up to but not exceeding the same IPP value that Warsaw Pact had received. And if they picked a unit less than that and there were IPP remaining, they could directly build a vehicle class unit at one of the POMCUS sites. All right. So for War 1, we are simulating, and I'm running out of Warsaw Pact SAMs, but we're simulating that the Soviets would send a SAM to East Germany and a SAM to Romania as military aid. So that's 6 IPP. They'll get placed first. And then NATO is sending over a next-gen MBT, also for 6 IPP, directly to Marmara. All right. So that's the military aid adjustment that we'll handle for the rest of the game as housekeeping at the beginning of the Warsaw Pact turn. All right, jumping into the turn then, we're going to start with repair. We are going to repair the 1 IPP of damage caused by NATO. So that way we will have all 3 tech dice available to us, as well as the use of that base. So moving on to technology, we do have 3 now because of the battle star we earned, which allowed us to upgrade a minor to a major army base in Rhineland, Romania. Pardon me, I'm getting ahead of myself. So technology 2, AMD, we're at stage 3. Technology 3, computers, we're at stage 2. Technology 6, which is chem warfare, long range plan, long range missiles, we need only a 7 on that one. Okay, and we're at stage 1. All right. Ooh, okay. All right, we got the most important one, arguably the AMD technology. So that moves us to stage 4, and we are complete with AMD. We missed computers. Sadly, that cost us bonus money. And we missed long-range missiles. All right, so get that out of the way. And we'll move to purchases. All right, walking into this turn, we felt very much like a capitalist because we had lots and lots of money, y'all. 32 IPP. We spent 1 on repairing the damage. We're spending 4 on 2 paramilitary, 3 on a SAM, 8 on a fighter, and then 16 on 2 MBTs and 2 mechs. Okay, so that should mathematically come to 32. We get our 3 cruise missiles, as well as our free light infantry to be placed in either Romania or East Germany for as long as there are terrorist cells around the world. All right, let's move directly to attacks. We do have 1 cruise missile attack from the major air base in Romania. We're firing a cruise missile into Marmara, and we have not just the aircraft but also the new next-gen MBT as potential targets there. And then in Central Europe, attack number 1 is Rhineland. So the 2nd Tank Army in Bavaria is moving across a river into Rhineland. I've got the chemical marker out because both sides are using chem. I also have the little blue mushroom cloud out because NATO has elected to use battlefield nukes in defense of Rhineland. By using battlefield nukes against Warsaw Pact, that will give Warsaw Pact release authority. I won't have to roll for it on our next turn. We don't get to use it right now. Okay. So 2nd Tank Army is down here. It's this Task Force Maka. They are being augmented by some forces from North Germany, including 4 field artillery that will be firing the chem. We're sending 2 MBTs to give us a total of 9 moving into Rhineland. We are also sending 3 early gen from North Germany. That's giving us a total of 8. Both mechs and both next gen MBT, as well as the SAM that was in Bavaria, and then 1, 2, the SAM that was in West Czech. Okay, so 2 SAMs and that task force. We do have some air assets that are coming in as well. So because he could scramble out of Benelux, we are sending both air superiority fighters. Let me adjust slightly so you can see destination and origin. So coming out of southern Yugoslavia, firing, moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, having 1 left to land in Bavaria, a ASF. Coming out of Romania, flying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, having 2 left, another air superiority fighter. Coming out of Romania, 2 medium medium bombers, flying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and having 2 left. And then 1 attack bomber, flying 5, having 3, 4 left. Okay, so that is all of the air in that attack. NATO decided not to scramble their fighter in that battle. We are also firing a cruise missile from East Germany through North Germany down into Rhineland. And there is a river penalty, and I'll show you that when we get to the battle board. The river penalty is only on the first round on most, but not all, land units for Warsaw Pact. The second battle is the Battle of Veneto. We are sending this non-carded task force 3 MBTs, 1 early gen MBT, moving from northern Yugoslavia into Veneto. This is to represent the fact that NATO has again decided to use nuclear weapons on their own territory in defense of Veneto. We are also sending this SAM. There are no air targets here, but in case he chose to scramble, he did choose to scramble. So this fighter is coming out of Lazio up here to join the battle. Additionally, Warsaw Pact had sent the fighter out of Romania, 1, 2, 3. We'll have 2 left. The early gen fighter out of Bulgaria, flying 1, 2, 3, have 2 left. 1, 2. Oh, wait. The fighter, I messed up his path. 1, 2. He just has to go north, you go there. So the fighter has 3 left. The early gen has 2 left. And then the remaining attack bomber, 1, 2, he has 6 left. Okay. And I'll move that up. All right. So we've covered everything that I believe are joining the battles. Let me move you over here to the battle board, which has already been set up. And off to the left here are the aircraft with their respective fuel remaining to land. And then on the battle board, I've only set up the Battle of Rhineland, but you'll see the cruise missile, the 4 field artillery firing 2 dice at chem at 2. And then on the NATO side, 2 artillery using battlefield nukes at a 3, 2 artillery using chem. So I'm going to use the purple dice when I roll them as opposed to the blue dice that these guys will get. And then the SAM, which I'll use a red dice because I used up all my 2s for this guy. Okay. So let me pull that up. Oh, the other thing is when I set up the Soviets, all of the early gen, the guys on the blue, are impacted by rivers. So early gen go from attacking at 2 to attacking at 1. The mechs, Warsaw Pact has a special ability about amphibious mechs, so they are unimpacted. But the MBTs go from 4 to 3. And the early gen, or the next gen MBT, goes from 6 to 5. First round only. First round only. Okay. I don't know if I covered the defenders beyond the artillery. So he has a paramilitary, an attack helicopter, 4 mechs, and 3 next-gen MBTs in defense. All right, so let's roll for first strike. We'll roll the attackers first and then the defenders. I have 4 artillery at 2 using chem, so 2 dice each. And I have a cruise missile at 5, okay? That is the attacking first strike. Low numbers. All right, so we got a 2, 11, 8, 11, 5, 6, 7, 4 over here in the corner. Let me move so you don't have to worry about corners. Okay, so no other hits for artillery. It just got the 1 chem. Did get a hit with the cruise missile. And if I check his casualty order, no surprise, he selected his SAM as his first strike because the SAM will still get to defend because the SAM fires first strike. All right, but I'll go ahead and do this now. The chem adjustment move all land units. So the paramilitary defend at 1, the mechs now defend at 4, and the next gen now defend at 5. And I'm tracking attack helicopters are unimpacted by chemical weapons. They're not a ground unit. All right, now let's roll the defenders first strike. I have 2 artillery firing 3 dice each, battlefield nukes. And I have 2 artillery firing 2 dice each for chem. All right, so all these are 3 or less, but you can see the nukes, you get that extra die. And nukes can only work against ground targets, can't impact air. And then the chem, again, the first hit is chemical disruption for Warsaw Pact. And then the SAM is firing 3 dice at 2 because there are air targets aplenty. And he fired those missiles before he himself was taken out. High numbers, high numbers. All right, so sadly, that is a 2. That is a 2. I'm out of early gen air. So that's an air superiority casualty. That's first strike, but I just want to keep track. So that one's air. Chem, 6, 9, 5, 12. So no chemical disruption. That's good to know. No chemical disruption. Now let's do nukes. Uh-oh. 3. I have a 7, 8, 5, 5, 3, and a 1. So 2 hits on first strike nukes. So we are going to, you guessed it, take off 2 of the early gen MBTs up in a mushroom cloud. They're gone. And then I still owe him the air superiority hit. I'm going to take a medium bomber, which is sad. Very sad. All right, let me remove the cruise missile, and let's proceed smartly and with purpose. All right, so now I have to recount. How many? I had 8, took off 2, so I should have 6 ones for the early gens. Now I'm rolling my SAMs, and I get to roll them. I forgot he had an attack helicopter, so they're not retired. They actually go there. I also have 2 air superiority fighters, but I have lots of other 5, so I'm going to use these red to represent air superiority. So those 2. And MBTs, I have 9 3s. So luckily I have all the 3s from the artillery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 MBTs, 2 5s for my next gen MBTs, and I'm going to use the light gray looking die for the 1 remaining medium bomber, and then the attack bomber. Okay, and that should be everyone with their respective die colors for the attackers. I need lots of hits, lots of hits. He's got lots of targets there. All right, totally randomized, low numbers. All right, 2s. Here's a 2, so that's 1 air hit, so that kills his attack helicopter, which is pretty good because both air superiority fighters, 7 and 8, missed. So 1 air superiority hit. Done. So take him off. Now the 1s. This guy is basically a 5, so he's a miss. I did get 1-1. Not bad early gens. All right, so I got 1 general hit. Okay, well, let's look at the 3s. 11, 6, 9, 9, 6. All terrible, awful. 8, 11. That's terrible. Terrible shooting by the MBTs. I realize I forgot to roll my 2 mechs. I rolled these guys, but not them, so I will roll them as an addendum. So there's still hope. He's a hit. He's a hit. He's a 5. He's a 5. He's a miss. He's a 5. He's a miss. And he's a 7. So I got, and that's not target select. So 3 general hits. I'll change that to a 3. Take those off. And let me roll the 2 mechs at 3 real quick so I don't miss anything. Come on, low numbers. Lower numbers. All right, they missed. defense. Already fired the artillery. He has a paramilitary defending at a 2. He has an air cav defending at a 4. And my problem was I had the dice set up for his original number, and sure enough I get... So I'm going to make the one air attack helicopter, this gray, and I'm going to give him 1, 2, 3, 4 blues, since they're all 4s, not 3s, my bad. 4s, okay, and then I have 3 5s for the next gen MBTs, and scanning his forces. I think that's everything. All right, let's go. High numbers, high numbers. All right, paramilitary is a miss. Ones are bad. We never want to see ones. 1, that's not good either. 8, 12, 12, so those all missed. 3 and a 3. So he has 2 land target selects, because the attack helicopter, that's the, here's the black, here's the light gray, so that's the attack helicopter. And 1, oh, that's a mech. Oh, good. They don't get target select. All right, so he gets 1 land target select, and it's a 1. So I know he's going to take an next gen MBT, so I'll take that off now so I don't lose that. And then he has 3 general hits. Okay, so let's pay some taxes. Let's pay some taxes. 3 general hits are these 3 guys. 1, 2, 3. That leaves me 3, and they're going to move back because first round is over. The river penalty is over. And that pays this. And no. That pays this. That pays his 3. I pay my taxes. He has to pay his taxes. All right. Now, I am going to shift this guy back, undamaged, and I'm going to shift back the 1 remaining next gen. Okay, so they're all back to normal, and the little blue river, makeshift river crossing is done. Now, I have 1 air superiority target, and that's the attack helicopter by default, and that forces my air superiority fighters to retire, as well as my SAMs to retire. And yes, I know I could have taken a SAM as a target, but I did not intentionally. Okay, now I have 3 general hits, right? So let me pull up his casualty order. The SAM went first, paramilitary second, so it's 1. And third are artillery, so 2, 3. So I'll take off 2 artillery, and that leaves 2 to come down here, defending at, where's the artillery? Where is artillery? I guess they're here, defending at 3. Yeah, there it is. I just missed the icon. Okay, so round 2, my air superiority fighters and SAM retired, and everybody else is back across the river at their normal settings. So let's move my field artillery down to their regular 2s. Yep. And no longer Chem, but he is disrupted, so I'll leave that up there so I don't get confused. All right, so I have 3 2s for the early gens and 4 2s for the artillery. There is no target select, so they can roll the same dice. 2 3s for the mechs. They can roll the same dice. 9 4s. 3, 6, 9 4s. Only 1 5 for the medium bomber. 1 6 for my next gen MBT. And 1 7. What did I do with my orange 7? There it is. Okay. So that is NATO or Warsaw Pact's attack round 2. There we go. Low numbers. 2s. Ooh, 1 1 2. Spectacular. 5 3 9 10. 3s. There's a 1 and a 3. That is super awesome, fantastic. 5s. There's a 5. 4s. 6 9 6. That looks like a 3 4 2. So those are good. Down here, that looks like that was destined to be a 5. So he's a miss. 9 is a miss. The 2 is a hit. The 10 is a disappointing miss. And the 6 is a hit, but just barely. No target select. All right, so let's count that up. I think those are all general hits, right? General combat hits. And no, what? Let me double check. MBTs at 4. 2s are target select, but sadly they're not 1s. But yeah, they're target select, so I don't think it'll matter because all he's got left are 2 artillery, and then I'm into his mechs and next gen anyway. So let's add this up. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So that means more than I could possibly represent on a 6-sided dice. So I will use a 20-sided dice and say 9 and 2 with land target select, but I don't think it'll matter. Okay. Right, we're all good. Okay. Now let's roll defense. He's got 2 artillery at 3. He's got his 4 mechs at 4. And he's got 3 next gen MBTs at 5s. 3 next gen MBTs at 5s. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So that was less than the hit. So this is his last shot. Barring something that I messed up that I'm not aware of. That usually happens. All right, so 3s. You got 1 hit, missed on 5. 4s, 7 7 are misses. 9 is a miss. 3 is a general hit as well. Yeah, doesn't have MBTs. Oh my gosh. He's having terrible luck with next-gen MBTs. Right? In the initial attack with the Germans and the Brits, or the Americans and the Brits, now the West Germans. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. 2 hits. I'm going to take both those right now because, like most Americans, I don't like taxes. So that's it. Okay? So the battle is over. And that's my surviving force, which is basically all but one of the early gen are gone. I can't replace those. That's a sad, sad thing. And he did kill half of my next gens. So he's got a gen thing going on. All right, so that finishes that battle. I'm not going to reset the battle board, but I am going to pull over the card so we have a visible scorekeeping record. No, he's not using chem. He's using battlefield nuke. So he's got a fighter. He's got a battlefield nuke, artillery, and he has 3 mechs. And we have a nuclear absorbent early gen MBT, 3 MBTs, and a SAM. All right, so let's let his 3 dice for nuclear hellfire from his single artillery. 3 at 3 or less is the only first strike, because my SAM fires second. Okay. 1, you got a 1, so this guy absorbs nukes, he's dead. All right, now we go on to regular attacks. Okay, my SAM will get 1 shot at 2. There is a mountain border. There's a mountain border here. So on the first round, my ground units are at -1. So my 3 MBTs are actually at 3. I had declared it. I don't know if I said it in the video. I don't think I did, but I declared it in my battle declaration to Tabletop Tactician that these guys are flying air superiority in anticipation of him scrambling, and indeed he did scramble. So I'm going to have to roll another alternate select die because I got lots of 3s. So this guy, I like the gray as my alternate select. That gray is early gen, and this green is the regular fighter at 6. They're both rolling air superiority. Let's see if that works for you. And then this is the ground attack fighter, okay? Not a lot there, not as much as with Rhineland. All right, so the SAM missed, the early gen missed, my fighter did hit, so that's good. So that kills his fighter. The MBTs all missed, and the the attack. I'm having terrible luck with attack bombers. That is awful. But at least now I'm out of the mountains, and the MBTs will roll at 4s. He has a fighter at 6, flying air superiority, and he has 3 mechs at 5. 3 mechs at 5, and I feel karma coming on. Karma owes Tabletop Tactician for some really harsh next-gen tank gunnery. All right, so his fighter missed, so I won the air war there. He got 2 hits on his mechs, so I'm going down 2 mechs. Sorry, 2 MBTs. Okay, so after round 1, because I got no other hits, so the nuke is done. He has an artillery and 3 mechs. I have a lone MBT. I don't know why I thought this attack was more sketchy than I thought, but oh well. I am going to call it. Time of death of this attack is 34-minute mark. Okay, so we're going to retreat back. That's it. Never happened. Wipe it out of the books. Fearless leader was never wrong. Okay, so let's move. We have one last die roll, and that is the single next cruise missile coming in. Hopefully it'll hit the next gen MBT. That was his casualty selection, actually. So 1 to 5, I can kill a tank. 12. Oh well. It's not like it's going to do him any good. Tabletops, next gens can't hit anything. All right. So that completes all of the combat rolls. Let's move to non-combat, and I'll give you a view of the map as best we can. NATO held on to Veneto. So, oh, I gotta leave the mushroom cloud to take off at the end. I'm gonna return the defenders of Veneto. 3 mechs, hardly aware that there was even a battle, and a nuclear artillery. Okay. From Veneto, let me land my, all right, I get my card up here. So the 2 fuel, this guy's got a fuel of 2, 1, 2. He's going to southern Yugoslavia. This guy had a fuel of 3. He's going to go 1, 2 to Romania. And the attack bomber has a fuel of 6. And he is going, where is he going? He is going to Hungary. So, plenty of space, okay? Now, landing the air for the Rhineland battle. And I did lose a medium bomber to Sam, I think. All right. So the air superiority fighters, one has a range of 1 left. He's going to land in Bavaria. And I did win that battle, so I'm going to take off the NATO Task Force Marker and this. And the Pomka site is essentially destroyed. Even if NATO was to retake it, they can no longer use it once it's occupied by the People's Forces. So there you go. So that's done. All right. So I landed the 1 ASF. The 2nd ASF is going up to East Germany. He's got 2 left. So 1, 2, and he lands in East Germany. Sorry, my arm's probably blocking your field of view. I'll play with him off camera if I can't get him to stand. All right, the attack bomber has 4 fuel left. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can come down to Hungary with his wingmate. And the medium bomber is going to East Germany. Medium bomber. I don't know if I said wing bomber. That sounded weird in my head. All right. That is all the air. Return to base. Non-air. We have these naval units. They're going to move from I-4, 1, 2, 3, to A-49, 1, 2, 3, down here around South Africa. A-49. They're on a trip. Pay no attention to them. They're not going anywhere in particular. Fear not. Okay. So that guy goes there. What's next? Greece. The mech in Greece is going to Bulgaria. The 3 MBTs in Greece are moving 1, 2 to northern Yugoslavia. So now I have 4 up there. Okay. And the SAM here is going to go 1. He can move 2. He'll go 1. That guy moved. He'll go up to here, and then this guy will move 2, 1, 2 to go up to Hungary. How about that? Okay. So Greece is empty. Bulgaria, East Germany. That's it. It's not like I didn't have a lot of forces involved in the attack. So let's move swiftly and see if we can wrap this up in the next few minutes. End of turn phase. Place units. Oh, no, wait. There is one more move. My bad. Woo, this would have been potentially disastrous. This task force marker with the 4 artillery are moving up to East Germany. So that marker, that's the forward one. That's the southern one. This is the East German one. I'm going to move the MBT and the mech onto that. And the 2 SAMs, I'll probably chip out the Soviet SAM. The 2 SAMs are in East Germany. Okay? Makes sense? All right. So I forgot that non-combat move. I apologize. But makes sense now because all my SAMs are there, and I'm building at the major army base 4 units. That's 2 mechs and 2 MBTs. 2 mechs and 2 MBTs in East Germany. The fighter is going to the air base in East Germany. The light infantry, I get a free, I don't think he uses capacity. Could be wrong. I don't think he does. I have a SAM I'm producing another SAM down here. 2 paramilitary. I'm going to produce 1 in North Germany on that task force and 1 in Greece. So the 2 paramilitary, 1 went to East Germany, 1 went to Greece. And then I produced 3 cruise missiles. Did I say 4? 3 cruise missiles. And I had 4, fired 2, that left me 2. I added 3, so I end with 5. Okay. All right. So that's that piece. Let's go to collect income. Collect income. All right. So my base was 26 after NATO retook Marmara. I go up 4, which is what this represents. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Rhineland. So that moves me from 26 to 30. And that moves NATO from 51 to 47 down to 47. And then this was the overly optimistic IPP in Veneto. I don't get him. So 4 plus 26 is 30. And then computers, because I missed stage 3, is my only bonus at 4. So I have 34 IPP cash on hand next turn. Normally I would end there, but the warmongering imperialists nuked their own people in Germany and in Italy. So that adds 2 nukes to my counter. So you'll see as I put this in, this comes into play at the variable ending. All right, so the mushroom cloud count is at 2. And with that, I will turn the game over to my partner, Tabletop Tactician. This is Captain G, over and out.